Oh, yo, games, and we're back with Gruff, Class of the Battle Goats, flipping through the cards. Alright, play a reference card, turn order, cleanup phase, resolve your attack, remove your conditions, refresh your living Gruffs, and if all your Gruffs are exhausted or dead, one draw phase, draw one card, activation phase, select a Gruff to act this turn. 3 play cards phase, play cards. 4 tactical action phase, attack, shift, grow, or resurrect. Card types, action can be used once and then immediately discard. Condition cards have an effect that lasts until the controller's next turn, so all the way during the opponent's turn. Mutation permanently affect the board. Field spells, whatever. Alright, Signal Gem. 5 power with a condition on it. While this card is in play, other conditions can't be played. Now, I thought it just went away though. Man, I guess it might be on. I guess it's in play like if it's in the discard pile or. Alright, Static Storm, 9 power. When you play this card, destroy all other conditions while this card is in play, and other conditions can't be played. And condition cards have an effect that lasts until the controller's next turn. Maybe they just stay on the field, then get discarded at the downkeep or whatever. Alright. Buckets Boom, 7 power. With the action. Okay, so yeah, actions, they just get used once, then immediately discarded. Conditions, they stay on play until your next turn, so during the opponent's turn. And then mutations, they stay permanently on the board. Okay, Kill Bucket. Kill Bucket, he can't be resurrected this turn. Draw 3 cards, your turn ends if your active Gruff is killed. 7 power. Okay, Bucket is one of the types of the Gruffs. First, let's look at the Gruffs. Yeah, why don't we? Alright, Grip Jaw. +1 mean and +1 fat when activated. Contraption. 1 fat, meaning that it only has 1 life, it looks like. 0 mean. But when you activate him, it gets stronger. Yeah, pretty cool. Weird 0, he gives you 0 energy though. 0 power. Alright, then we got Grover. Grover gets plus damage equal to his weird score when he attacks. Plus damage equal to his weird score when he attacks. Okay, so it's got 0 mean, but then you'll grow it as they attack. But equal to his weird. Okay, then we got Tooth. +1 fat when activated. So gives heavier defense, 1 attack, 2 weird, so 2 energy that it gives the shepherd. Bucket, +2 weird when activated, 1 attack, 2 defense, 2 life, 0 weird. And that works with these cards. Okay, because it looks just like Bucket, okay. The cards, you have 15 cards with which to choose to add to your 8 for that Gruff, for the total of a 24 card deck before you start playing the game. Cool deck building. Alright, then we got Dribble. +2 mean when activated. Funk Fiend. 1 attack. 2 defense. 0 energy. Skulldozer. +2 fat when activated. So it becomes a 2/3 when activated. Gives you 1 energy. Fluttermind the Divine, legendary Gruff. Legendary means you can only have 1 or something. Yeah, let's see what legendary is about. Okay, legendary Gruffs are alternative character cards from previously printed Gruffs. They don't bring their own ability cards, but they use the ability cards from Gruffs with the same name from the original edition of the Gruff tactical card games. Whatever that is. Alright, but Fluttermind the Divine, legendary Gruff, +1 weird when swapped. When you switch positions, either 1, 2, or 3, and draw an extra card in your draw phase if your shepherd has 20 or more crazy. And crazy is the energy that you get from the Gruffs. Alright, cool. One, and it's a 1/2. Gaptooth the Devourer, legendary Gruff. When Gaptooth attacks, you may discard a card to destroy a mutation, and it's a 3/4. Which that one seems kind of OP, but I guess other people, they kind of ramp though, but not this guy. One weird. Gusto the Goatercycle. Legendary Gruff, +1 mean when Gusto swaps places with an allied Gruff. Contraption, 0/2. 0 weird. But it gets +1 attack every time it swaps places. So it can get nasty. Alright, then we got Pustule the Rabbit. And it's legendary, +1 fat and +1 mean when activated. So it gets +1/+1, but it's a 1/1 with 1 giving you energy. Alright, back to the bucket, guys. Because it's a bucket. It's a literal bucket down there. Choose any shepherd, they take 4 damage. And before we do that, let's look at the shepherds though. Okay, Doc. 8 life, 0 crazy starting, 7 legendary cards you can put in there. 7 some kind of good cards you can put in there. Once at the beginning of the game, you may shuffle your hand into your deck and draw that many cards. Alright, so this guy gets a mulligan. 2, as long as choose life is below the threshold at your Gruffs, then your Gruffs get 1 defense. And he's 8, 0 energy. Arc, Unmasked Glory. The first time Arc's life crosses her threshold, enemy Gruffs lose 1 fat and take 1 damage. Vim, whenever an enemy shepherd takes damage, draw a card, then discard a card. 4 comes with 7 life and 1 crazy at the beginning of the game. Captain Stovell, 8 life, 0 crazy, 4 inclusion of that. Potent Rum, at the end of each of your turn, if his life is above his threshold, Stovell takes 1 damage and gains 2 crazy. North, Survival Instinct. Whenever North's life drops below her threshold, draw a card. So she's actually got 3 thresholds. 1 crazy. Alright, Scud Missiles. Choose any shepherd, they take 4 damage. They cost a big old 30. 4 damage is big in a 7-8 life game. And that's an action card. For Science, 4. This card can only be played if your active Gruff is a contraption. Shuffle your discard pile into your deck and draw a card. And of course they have the types. Goatercycle is a contraption. Epiphany, only a 2-drop. Look at the top 3 cards of your deck. Draw 1 and put 1, and then put the rest back. Shuffle your deck. Jab, while this card is in play, the defending shepherd takes 1 damage whenever a Gruff on your team has their attack fully blocked. Bend Space, choose any Gruff, it swaps positions with another Gruff on its team. Foul Fuel, destroy all mutations, draw a card. Limbic Sparkplug, mutate any Gruff, the mutated Gruff's maximum weird score increases by 5. Use the track on this card to track the new maximum. Their weird score, any Gruff's maximum weird is now 5. Okay, so a lot of them have just 3 max, some of them have 7, some of them even have 2, that's unique. That guy has 0, that's what's up. You give him this, then sure this guy can do the full with weird. But yeah, anyway, 15 drop, Thermodynamics, Mutate Bucket. Whenever you play a card, draw a card. When you play this card, your turn ends immediately. Min-max, 1 drop. Choose any Gruff. It loses 1 point from any stat. Then it gets +1 to any stat. And you can, whenever you activate a Gruff, you can do 1 of 4 things. You can swing with it, which the swing resolves at your upkeep, your next upkeep. You can grow it by making it grow 1 stat on its tracker, any 1 stat It can go up weird, mean, or fat. You can also swap spaces with an adjacent Gruff, so slide it left or right. And then you can also, well, I mean, if it's in the middle, you can slide it left or right, but you know. And then it can also do one more thing though. Okay, they can resurrect. If they're face down dead, if they've died, then you can have an active Gruff tap to resurrect a dead one, to flip it back over, and then it comes back with its same stats that it had when it died. Pretty cool. Alright, Min-Max. Choose any Gruff. Yeah, we already did that. Bewilder, 2-drop, destroy any mutation or condition. And Adrenal Booster, 7-drop. Machination, mutate bucket. Gruffs on your team with mean scores at their maximum deal +2 damage. And 2 of those. So out of this 15 card stack of cards, if you choose bucket to be one of your 3 Gruffs for the game, then you will pick you'll pick 8 of bucket's cards to go into your deck of 24 cards. So I really am liking this deck building in this game. Would make for some nice, quick, dynamic games. All right, then we got Charge that goes along with the Rabbit, Bunny, Gruff. Yeah, I mean Pustule. No, not Pustule, the Rabbit. Dribble. Dribble goes with Dribble. All right, so Dribble's first card, Charge. 2 power. When this card is played, the active Gruff swaps places with another Gruff on your team. While this card is in play, the active Gruff deals +1 damage. Ramming Stance. Choose a Gruff. It gets +2 defense and deals +2 damage while this card is in play. Corrode. Choose any Gruff. It loses 1 from any stat. 2 power. Swollen Zits, 4-drop. Mutate any Gruff. Whenever the mutated Gruff is hit by an attack, it separate takes 1 damage. And some flavor text. I think I go thumb in my mouth. Them. Dribble's Maw. Mutate Dribble. Dribble deals +2 damage to mutated enemies. Fling Flim. Mutate any Gruff. The mutated Gruff gets -1 defense for each mutation attached to it. 7-drop. And that's one of those mutation cards that stays on the board. Yeah, because it's just an upgrade, really. But oh nasty, I hope he never does that again. North. And Dissolve. 5-drop. And it has those horns, so you can only include that many cards with horns or something on your Shepherd. They have that symbol, so I think you can only include this many type of cards with that horns on there. Choose any Gruff. It loses 2 fat. Fling Flim. The Jitters. 8-drop. Mutate any Gruff. Whenever the mutated Gruff is hit by an attack, its controller discards a card at random. Squirting Cyst. 16-drop. Mutate any Gruff. Whenever the mutated Gruff is hit by an attack, it separate takes 3 damage. And that can be the opponent stuff, I'm sure. So downgrade, actually. Hop. 0-drop. The active Gruff swaps positions with the Gruff that is adjacent to it. So instead of spending an activation, you can just do the swap action. Jab. 3-drop. No Fauci. While this card is in play, the defending Shepherd takes 1 damage whenever a Gruff on your team has their attack fully blocked. Rabid Fever. Mutate any Gruff. The mutated Gruff gets -3 defense and +3 damage on its attacks. 9-drop. Funk Fumes. 10-drop. All Gruffs get -4 defense while this card is in play. Irritable Bowels. Not the Syndrome. 10 power. Mutate Dribble. At the beginning of your cleanup phase, each enemy Shepherd that has 3 or more life takes 1 damage. Skull Doze. 10-drop. Choose any Gruff. It gets +2 mean. Then kill any Gruff on your team. Okay, new guy right here. Charge. Put these things back and forth, maybe. Yeah, Charge. When this card is played, the active Gruff swaps places with another Gruff on your team. While this card is in play, the active Gruff deals +1 damage. Bone Burn, 1 drop. When you play this card, your shepherd takes 1 damage. Choose any gruff, it gets +1 mean. Ramming Stance, choose any gruff, it gets +2 defense and deals +2 damage while this card is in play. 3 drop, Undying, revive a dead gruff, that gruff gets +3 defense while this card is in play. And this one is a condition, stays in play until your next upkeep. Unstable, 21. Mutate any gruff. Whenever the mutated gruff dies, immediately revive it. So play that on your guys. Intimidate. Enemy gruffs can't be swapped while this card is in play. Alright, so this game, like, you know, they had to get, what, 8 pieces of art for the shepherds. No, 6 pieces of art for the shepherds in a box. Like maybe 12 pieces of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 pieces of art for the goats. And then the goats art are actually the main deck cards. So that wasn't much expense for the art for a box. So it is pretty ingenious, kind of a little bit. Choose any gruff, it gets +2 defense while this card is in play. Last Stand, 7 drop. Choose any gruff, it fully blocks all attacks that hit it while this card is in play. When this card leaves play, kill that gruff. Devastation, 9 drop. Destroy any number of mutation or condition cards in play. Your shepherd takes 1 damage for each card destroyed this way. Good removal though. Crush, 6 drop. Choose any gruff, it gets +1 mean, then destroy any condition or mutation card. And Oblivion, 13 drop. Destroy all mutations in play. 6 drop. Mutate all any allied gruff. Whenever that gruff's attacks are fully blocked, the enemy shepherd takes 1 damage. And you know, everything has trample. Inevitable Doom. Mutate Skulldozer. When Skulldozer's attacks are fully blocked, he gains +1 mean. That's +1 attack. 20 death. Kill any gruff. Ramming Stance, 5 drop. Okay, new guy. Ramming Stance, 5 drop. Choose any gruff, it gets +2 defense and deals +2 damage while this card is in play. Crush, 6 drop. Choose any gruff, it gets +1 mean, then destroy any condition or mutation card. 12 drop. Engine Lock. Enemy gruffs can't be swapped while this card is in play. This card can't be destroyed while in play, but is removed as normal during the cleanup phase. Block. Choose any gruff, it gets +2 defense while this card is in play. Gripjaw's Rage. Gripjaw gains +2 mean. Iron Grip. Mutate the gruff that is opposite Gripjaw. Whenever the mutated gruff is swapped, Gripjaw also immediately swaps to be the opposite gruff. Bad Science. Shuffle your discard pile into your deck and then draw a card. Min-Max, 1 drop. Choose any gruff, it loses 1 point from any stat, then that gruff gets +1 to any stat. Steel Rivets, 12. Mutate any condition. The condition can't be removed from play until this mutation is destroyed. Refuel. This card is only playable if your active gruff is a contraption. Refresh any gruff and draw a card. Catalyst. While this card is in play, your other cards cost 2 less crazy to play. Fuel Line Rupture. Exhaust any 2 unexhausted gruffs. Nitro Celerate, 6 drop. Mutate Gripjaw. Whenever you draw a card, gain 1 crazy. Homing Beacon, 10 drop. Mutate any gruff. Whenever Gripjaw's attack hits the mutated gruff, Gripjaw gains +3 mean. Disinfectant Pump, 7 drop. Machination, mutate any gruff. Whenever the mutated gruff attacks, you may destroy any mutation. Okay, 4 down, 2 to go. Grover's Visions, 1 drop. Choose 1, draw a card, or Grover gains +1 weird. Hyper Evolution, 9 drop. Any allied gruffs gain +1 to any of one of their stats. In Revelation, draw a card for each point of weird the active gruff has. 17. Man, so you could draw your whole deck if they have like 30 weird, or like even really like at 17 weird to cast this. You'll probably, depending on how they spent their energy, you'll probably draw your whole deck. Alright, but choose one, destroy any mutation or condition card, or Grover gains one weird. 2-drop Overmind, mutate Grover. When you play this mutation, draw a card. You have no maximum hand size. Evolve, choose any Gruff. It gains +1 to any stat. 5-drop Mind Warp, choose one, draw 2 cards, or any Gruff gains +2 weird. Final Form, 19-drop, choose any Gruff. It gains +5 to any stat. Psychic Fog, 5-drop. When this card is played, choose any Gruff. It gets +1 weird. All other condition cards cost +5 crazy while this card is in play. Psychic Barrier, 9-drop. Choose any Gruff. It gets +2 defense while this card is in play. No other condition cards can be played while this card is in play. Dissect, think we already did that. Hush, 5-drop. When you play this card, choose any stat. Gross and Shepherds can't gain this stat while this card is in play. Evolve, choose any Gruff. It gains +1 to any stat. Brian's Clutch, 12-drop. This card is only playable if your active Gruff is Deep Thing. Draw the top 3 cards from your discard pile. First recursion I've seen like that. Bend Space, 3-drop. Choose any Gruff. It swaps positions with any Gruff it's allied with. Okay, last guy maybe? I think last guy. Ramming Stance, 5-drop. Choose any Gruff. It gets +2 defense and deals +2 damage while this card is in play. Protect, 2-drop. The active Gruff may swap places with any allied Gruff and gains +2 defense while this card is in play. Unchecked Growth, 16. Mutate Tooth. Whenever an allied Gruff uses a tactical action to grow, it gains an +2 to the selected stat. Man, 3-drop. Choose one. A Gruff gets +2 defense while this card is in play, or your Shepherd gains 1 life when this card is played. Dyscalculia, 30-drop. Mutate Tooth. The crazy cost of all of your other cards is 0. When you play this card, your turn ends immediately. So gotta spend your max energy to make all other cards free in the coming turns. Hopefully nobody gets rid of the mutation. Tooth's Glory, 8-drop. Mutate Tooth. Whenever Tooth fully blocks an attack, draw 2 cards. Nibble, 3-drop. Choose one, destroy any condition or mutation card on any Gruff, gains +1 fat. 14-drop. Illiterate, ignore the text on all other conditions and mutations while this card is in play. Rebound, 5-drop. If an allied Gruff fully blocks an attack, then enemy Shepherds take 1 damage. Steady Step, 3-drop. Choose any Gruff that swaps places with an adjacent Gruff. Shuffle your card back into your deck. Ignore, 16-drop. Choose any Gruff. It fully blocks all attacks it received while this card is in play. Man, Tooth's Apathy, 0-drop. Tooth gets +3 defense while this card is in play. Rebound, think we did that. Fatty Force, 21. Choose any Gruff. It gets plus damage on its attacks equal to its fat stat while this card is in play. Alright. Looking forward to playing this. I'm sure you are too. Who all is going to stick through with this whole thing? I would. But anyway, be on the lookout for more Clash Battle of the Billy Ghost Gruff gameplay coming soon. Boyo Games. Keep Austin weird.